Hi friends, welcome back. So today I signed off of work, a little bit ago, and I am off work until the new year. Hallelujah, I've burned myself out this month working so hard, not only on my videos and content for you, but at my actual place of work at my salon that I work at as I'm a cosmetologist. So it's one of those things where I am really excited to have this next week and a half off. I am not due back until the 2nd, and I'm keeping it that way because I need a break. Let's just face reality there. So today's video is one I've been really excited to make. So this is like my top 10 books/series that I own that I want to read in 2016. So I am really excited to share these things with you. Hold on a second. Hello. So anyways, let's film this quick because I have somebody showing up at my house in 10 minutes. So let's just dig right in. So I want to do an honorable mention first. It's not one I actually own, but I'm so excited to read it in 2016. And that is Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. This is a novella bind-up in the Lunar Chronicles world. We get a wedding, peeps. I don't know whose it is, but we get a wedding. So I am all over this. I am so super excited to see who gets to actually get married and to see the other stories that will be put in this bind-up. So I'm really excited for that. Obviously, I keep saying how excited I am about it. So let's dig into the other books. So first things first, I need to get on the Stormlight Archive train with Brandon Sanderson. The first book being The Way of Kings. Everybody tells me it's his best work. And I just started reading Brandon Sanderson this year, so I need to get on this, especially since we own the first two, but these things are huge. I mean, this paperback here is like 1,250 pages. It's massive. And there's 2 books out so far. He's working on the 3rd, and he says it's going to be huge. And so I'm getting a little nervous. Also in the world of Brandon Sanderson, I'm really excited to get to know his works a little bit better. And so another book on my list to read this next year is Ilan Tryst. This was his first published work. He's going to be revisiting this world in the next year or 2. So I really want to get acquainted with this book, because it's only once he's done with this book that he's going to revisit the world of Warbreaker, back up there in the corner. I'm trying to itch it there. And so I want to get acquainted with this. Next up is Can You Keep a Secret by Sophie Kinsella. Confession, I have not read a Sophie Kinsella book ever. And everybody talks about her works being so fun. I liked the concept of this one. I got it for $1. And so I think I just need to make myself sit down and read it when it feels fun and whimsical. The next one is The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making. That is such a long title. This is by Catherine M. Valenti. And the concept just seems interesting. I've been kind of in a reading slump lately. Those of you on my Instagram have kind of learned about that. I tried picking this up, and the writing was just a little overwhelming for what I need right now. I need something lighthearted, easy to read. I think I finally settled on a book. Check my Instagram to find out. I think I will come back to this one because I've heard good things about this first one. The writing was just a little overwhelming for what I needed right now, so I do want to get to this in 2016. Next up is Persuasion by Jane Austen. It's one of Jane Austen's works that I have not read. Everybody loves it and raves about it. I have a lot of classic literature lovers in my neighborhood, and so most of them have read these, and they keep talking about how this one's good. I mean, it's not very long, so I just need to make myself sit down and read it. Next up is my most daunting, reading goal of 2016. I want to read the entire Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, the first book being The Eye of the World. When I first met my husband, he told me how much he loved this series, and so I tried to sit down and read it. In the actual physical copy, he still had my old business card in it. I only got 56 pages in, but I was really distracted at that time in my life. And then I tried the audiobook for a while, and I think I got about halfway. But I'd want to read this entire series, because then I can talk about it with my husband. For those of you who saw a recent book haul from Barnes & Noble for Christmas, My husband got the Wheel of Time companion book. And I think that might help me a little bit with certain aspects of this book is I felt so lost in certain spots that it got overwhelming for me. So I think that's why I wasn't enjoying it. But I'm really excited to give this another whirl. I'm going to give it at least the first 3 or 4 books before I decide whether I'm going to finish it or not. The goal is to finish, but... The next is Death Comes to Pemberton by P.D. James. I got this as a Christmas gift last year. Confession, still haven't read it. So this is slated for my January TBR. My TBRs fluctuate because sometimes I hit something like now where I'm in a reading slump and nothing I'm picking up is feeling right. But this is definitely on my list that I want to read. It is historical fiction. It's very, what happens after Pride and Prejudice kind of mystery. And so I'm really kind of excited to read it. I've heard nothing but good things. I've heard the BBC series is amazing. I have purposely not watched it yet because I wanted to read the book first. I mean, it's not long. I just need to sit and read it. The next is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I've heard mixed things about this one. I've heard you either love it or you hate it. So I'm really excited to see where I fall in that realm. I think I'll probably end up enjoying it, but it's hard to say right now. I haven't really dug into it at all. And this is a nice floppy paperback. And so it's just one of those where it sits open and I don't have to fight it, which is really nice. The next is Mercedes Lackey. I have not read anything by Mercedes Lackey at this point in my life. And I've heard nothing but good things about Mercedes Lackey. So my first choice in Mercedes Lackey is the complete Arrows trilogy, which includes Arrows of the Queen, Arrow's Flight, and Arrow's Fall. So once I've read this, I'll kind of decide where else I want to go with Mercedes Lackey. A lot of people talk about Deerskin. I do really want to read that. But I wanted to give this trilogy bind up a try first. Again, another nice floppy paperback. I mean, you can't do better than a big floppy paperback. Last but not least is A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. As of right now, I've read the entire Throne of Glass series. And this is Sarah J. Maas's other series. She's got another book coming out this next year. It's a fairy tale retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but I've heard it's not exactly like Beauty and the Beast. I've heard it's actually quite a bit different. It's just very loosely based on Beauty and the Beast. So I'm really interested to see what Sarah J. Maas does with this. Her writing is very interesting to me. I've always enjoyed the writing, especially through Throne of Glass. And so I'm interested to see if the writing changes in this particular book or not. I'm sorry, I'm trying to not blind you here. But I am really excited to give this a whirl, give this a try, and we'll go from there. So those are the top 10 things plus my honorable mention that I own that I want to read in 2016. If you have read any of these, go ahead and comment down below and let me know what you liked and what you didn't and why. And I am excited for this lovely break. I'm hoping to be able to film some awesome things coming up these next couple weeks since I've got a lot of time. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a happy Christmas Eve. Bye.